Greetings, 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 everyone. Uh, there's a lot going on. I definitely want to say um, we definitely have some bad news in the news as far as what's going on. But I just want to say before I even get started, I know for sure what people can do, and um, I know things can change as far as with people. And like I always say, if our brother is innocent, then may God continue to bless him. But if he's not, then the chips may fall where they may fall. And also, um, you know, I just want to come on here, because I want to talk to the black community. And the black community seems to be lacking a lot of intelligence. Society already think that we're animals. Society already think we're just bad people, right? How is it that you all hold up something that is wrong? You see how they treat you throughout the year, and they come to you promising you all this stuff, and they do things to entertain you, just like the devil. He entice you with shiny things. And I did a podcast on Donald Trump and Biden when them two was running. And now here I am again making another one about the alligator and the crocodile. Two different animals, but they do the same thing. Um, and both can tear you to pieces. Both can shred you and in your life. And what I'm trying to understand is, how is black folks constantly and continue to keep falling for the same shenanigans? We sit up here, fall for, we're going to change this, we're going to change that. But yet here's Kamala's coming out as the so-called first lady president. And my thing is, she's been in the White House for 3.5 years. And you telling me you have not done nothing for the country, you have not done anything for the people. And then she made a comment saying that I'm not just gonna do anything for black people. That's what she's telling you. She's not gonna do nothing for black people. And you black folks quick to attach yourself to anything that sounds good, that looks good, and it make you feel good. Here it is, you had a black president, quote unquote. You guys attached to him, and some of y'all voted because he's saying he's black. You got to remember this man, a white mother and an African father. He went on the same thing Kamala is doing, running on her skin. She's going to be Obama in a dress. And you Negroes set up here and just cling to what she's saying. Every word, like her word is like got you hanging off a cliff and you just hanging off her words and you sitting up here saying, oh, come on, you got my vote. You got my vote. Oh, yes. You the first black woman that came president. And she has not done nothing since she's been in with vice president. Second of all, when she was in council, when she was in Senate, when she was in a prosecutor, when she was a lawyer, she locked up more niggas than an ant can crawl in the crack of a sidewalk. But yet, you Negroes still continue to support this person. Just like you dumb niggas set up here and support Biden, who came out his mouth and said You not black if you don't vote for me. And then even before that, when he was in Senate, he said, I'm gonna make sure I pass a law that if you got a crack on you, you already get 5 years. And what you niggas do, you niggas go out here and vote by the trolls for a racist bigot who told you to your face, I don't care nothing about you. All I need is your vote. And then you did the same thing back in the 80s with Bill Clinton. You niggas always want to be a part of something. You niggas always want to be attached. You niggas always want to clamp down on something that you don't even know your own rights. But yet they come and tell you what they're going to do for you, but yet you say nothing. Okay, Biden, you got my vote. Here it is. Look, in his mouth and say, Bill Clinton is the closest thing to being a black man. Because he came in, played a saxophone, and made you niggas feel good with shades on. And he's the one that pushed you niggas to get locked up. But yet you continue to vote for people that come along and sell you a dream that continue to tell you the same dumb stuff and you eat it up. They present anything to you. Like Kamala. She present to you all because she has no respect for you all dumb niggas. How she gonna bring negative Stallion to sing a song to entertain you dumb niggas just for your vote? That shows you that she cares that much about you. That if she even cared that much about you. But yet you continue to do what you want to do. Oh, because she's going to because she's black. And then she made the DNCs on tonight. She came out her mouth and said, we're going to make sure that big corporations don't price gouging. We're going to make sure we get them for gouging for gas. But yet you've been in the White House for 3.5 years. What have you done for these dumb niggas? But yet you get mad when I start talking like this, or when I start bringing it to your forefront, you want to catch an attitude. I don't care nothing about your attitude. And I don't, because first of all, they know you don't even care about yourself. This is why they continue to run the same game with you every 4 years. See, this is why they stick to the culture because why? They know you don't have no common sense. That's why she's using all these fraternities. And here it is. She's telling the fraternities to get on her team. What have she done for you all? She has not done nothing for y'all. Here there's a man fighting right now to get out of prison because of her. She's living her life, but this guy is in prison. Here it is. You all keep believing what somebody's telling you instead of you going out and doing your own homework. The scriptures say people are going to suffer for a lack of knowledge. And what are you dumb niggas are doing? You suffering because of lack of knowledge. See, and let me tell you something. My heart goes out to Trayon. If this stuff is true on him about taking bribes and stuff, then that's on him. He should have known they're going to change that finish line for him. They're looking to genocide to get rid of you dumb Negroes in these projects. They're gonna if a black person don't run and win, they're gonna continue to keep doing that cycle because you already see that the mayor don't care nothing about you. The mayor do not care nothing about you all. Look what their crime is at. Ward 8, Ward 7, Ward 5. Do you see any other wards that have this much crime as Ward 6, 5, 6, 7, and 8? No, you don't. Because why? Because the city is going to help them. Because majority of them are white folks in those communities. They're going to help. Look at the project. Don't get no assistance. They don't get no help. All they getting is guns, weed, and killing. Look what they getting in the projects. And you all keep saying you're going to vote for somebody. If I were you, I would hold off on my vote. Because why? Because they need you. They need you. But yet you keep having people entertain you, keep shaking their tail feather in front of you, and you keep going for it every time. So they talking this good stuff on the DNC. Why? It's because they're going to get some fools to fall for their propaganda. And don't get me wrong, what they doing is nothing new. It's nothing new what they doing, and they've been doing this for years. This is why they constantly keep running game, but they keep putting it in different forms. They put the game in different forms so that way you won't catch on to the games that they're running on you. So you got Democrats, Republic, devils in disguise and sheep clothing. Here it is. You got to give what credit and credit is due. Donald Trump is telling you all what he's going to do. The Democrats been hiding this stuff for years. You say I'm gonna vote Democrat. Yay! I'm gonna vote Democrat. But here, these the same people that's keeping you at bondage. Republicans too, because they're all for the wealthy. They all for themselves. But yet you keep voting for Democrats have done nothing for you now but keep you in the projects and keep you down so they can still say they're doing something for you. Then come at the end of the year and say they need your vote. Look at gas prices. Gas prices are almost $4. Look at food. I went to the grocery store the other day and paid $226. But yet the American people suffer while they get rich, while they can continue to use black folks. And another thing, if Kamala so much love her people, why she marry a Jew dude? And furthermore, why nobody talk about the Jews, the ones that's really bringing destruction? The white man is just the forefront so they can use that, and the Jews in the background making the calls. If you go to Montgomery County, Jews own half of Montgomery County. Montgomery County is the only county that when Jews say shut it down, they shut it down. They have special days for school and all this. And Jews is the ones that are pulling the strings with this all the shenanigans. You can't talk about a Jew. If you talk about the Holocaust, you're gonna get criticized and then you're gonna get penalized. I probably get shut down for talking about the Jews. But who cares? Because I'm still gonna say what I gotta say. I'm gonna continue to say what I have to say because I ain't afraid of no man, no but God. Ain't nobody gonna shut my mouth. And if you try to do something to me, God gonna get you. Because you got to stand on principles. You cannot keep getting used by society that don't care nothing about. So the government is nothing but a big corporation, just like Walmart, Target, all these big stores don't have no intentions to help you, no but help themselves. Look at America. America is in the gut. And you go to other countries, you go see other countries, you see peace, you see people laughing and joking. What do you see in America? Transgender, transsexuals, lesbians. You see all this stuff killing, robbing, murder. You see all this stuff in America. And this is supposed to be the land of the free. Ain't no free. No, but the white folks are getting it free. And the Negroes, we still in the cotton fields. But they just got it on a different level as far as with the jobs. They got us here. And another thing, sometimes you have to look at yourself. You know, you keep blaming people. You keep blaming people for what you're doing. We know they're going to change that finish line. It's just that you got to believe in yourself, have confidence in you, who you are, and believe who you are that you can make a change. But if you cannot make a change, you're going to be stuck in a rut. Prime example, like a car that's stuck in mud. No matter how much you press on that gas, that back tire is going to be rolling in that mud. And it's going to get deeper and deeper and deeper. This is how our mind has become. Our mind has become warped to what we believe what somebody keep telling us. And I just think about it. Society has become nothing but foolishness, folly. And as long as we are entertained, we happy. We just in la la land, but not thinking how stuff is going to play out, how stuff is going to really come down the pipe. And sometimes we, as a people, we brought some of this stuff on ourselves because why? Because we don't want to believe what nobody's telling us. And you know what? And I was ready to go to bed, man, but I had to get this off my chest because, you know, they doing this DNC show tonight. That's what caught my attention because, for one, they are pretty much telling the people, we got your back. They keep talking about Donald Trump, what Donald Trump doing, what he ain't doing. But what you not doing? You not telling the people, I'm continuing to keep you in slavery, keep your mind in bondage, and continue to use you for our gain. I was on my way to bed. I was on my way to bed. I promise you I was on my way to bed. I gotta get up early. But my thing is that sometimes when stuff get on your head, you gotta get it off. And sometimes people don't believe that stuff stinks, man. And I forgot I had a guest coming on. I apologize because I was just ready to rock and roll. I got a young lady by the name of Tasha coming on the show. Tasha,
Yes, Ronald.
let people know who you are.
I am many things. I am an herbalist. I am an entrepreneur. Um, and I'm a person that cares about what goes on in the Black community.
Mhm. So, what do you think about this Trey Mr. White situation?
Well, first and foremost, I don't think he has done no more than what any other person has done. But of
Hmm.
course, they'll look at him and use him as an example. I feel like he was set up. Um, I feel like, as we have mentioned, that it was somebody closer to him that he would least expect that has put him in a predicament that he's in. But not only that, that he allowed himself to get put in that predicament as well. So
Hmm.
it's always the left, the right, and what's in the middle, which is the truth. Hopefully, hopefully, which it'll never happen. The truth will, the truth will prevail as to what's going on. But when things is caught on camera, it is what it is. But
Yeah.
they're definitely going to make an example and a mockery from out of him. A young brother who was
Hmm.
trying to do things or whatever the case may be, and then he gets caught up in some crap of this um, nature. So we just have to see how this unfolds. We just have to do better, but we have to see how this unfolds.
So, where do you think were the lack or the broken communication as far as let's talk about Ward 8. Um, as far as the crime and where do you think the broken communications come from? Because this guy has been in office for a long time. And yeah, I understand he'd be out there, in the streets and stuff like that. But it's never the crime never cease. Where do you think the communication broke at?
Communication has been broken on several levels.
Mm,
Basically, everything starts at the lower level. So it's important to put people in office, that will do things for the community, that will get the word out as to what's going on in the community. But not only that, the community need to stand up and pretty much stop things that are going on in their community instead of being afraid with what's going on in their community. I just find it kind of sad that every ward, every city, every state has issues. But
Mm-hmm.
some of the issues, especially that I see here in the District of Columbia, happens because, nobody wants to say anything. Nobody wants to say that, I saw this person do this to this person. And crime just going to keep going. Crime's just going to continue to happen if we don't stand up and take our neighborhoods back you know, and tell people, let people know that, hey, this is what's going on. This is what I see. What do you think we need to do? Communication is just not big, especially when it comes to politics or playing that game. But it's definitely lack of communication within our communities. I can only speak on our communities, and in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion, I see a lot that's going on, and I voice my opinion on it, but I'm just only one voice. So when you only have one voice, it's just like having one vote. If we as a ethnicity and not as a race, because there's only one race and that's the human race, but if we as an ethnicity would band together as one, especially when it comes to this voting, we would have to hold them accountable, politicians, for their actions, whether it's on a lower level or whether it's on a president on a higher level. We have to hold them accountable. But when we do not vote as a whole and be on one accord, we can't hold them accountable for what they do.
Mm-hmm. I mean, do you think it falls on a lack of confidence because they come? Let's talk about him for a second. I know he grew up in the neighborhood. He went to school in the neighborhood, and people love him. But it kind of remind me of on a scene with Good Times where Ultimate Davis was the mayor of Chicago, and he told Florida and James, "I worked really hard to keep you guys in the projects," and that just sprung out to me because you might think somebody's really trying to help you, but you also will have somebody fight just as hard to keep you in the projects for their gain and their purpose. Because, sometimes you look at it and say that the crime in Ward 8 is out of control. And sometimes as a community, we become comfortable or we'll just come reliable on somebody else to come and rescue instead of us trying to rescue ourselves. What do you think about that?
I don't think we become comfortable, not all of us. I just think that we turn the blind eye. There have
Mm,
been 74 or more homicides just in Ward 8, and that is unacceptable. It
mm-hmm,
is up by what, 30, 40% of the crime rate. So the question is again, who do we hold liable for this? In
mm-hmm,
the job that I work for, I was just telling a customer today how, you know, they come into the office, they on 1,000, they arguing, they fussing at the people that work in there with, not getting this and not having this done. But you need to reach out to this mayor of the District of Columbia and hold her accountable. Not only hold her accountable, but hold people accountable for what they doing in these communities. Because again, crime is going to happen wherever crime is going to happen. But when you have a rate of 74% of homicides, and I can guarantee you probably the entire 74 homicides that has happened so far has not been solved.
yeah,
So what do you do? Because again, you have people, I'm not a snitch. I can't tell. But these people are coming into your community doing drive-bys. And the saddest thing about it is when they do these drive-bys, they're shooting other people. They're not even shooting the target that they aiming at.
mm-hmm,
And people feel like it's okay. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to turn a blind eye. And that's the biggest thing, be turning the blind eye. But again, you have to elect politicians who's going to do something for your community. And not only the politicians, but what are you doing to set the example for your community? What are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Because
So
everybody, go ahead.
no, no, I was just gonna ask you. So do you think it's a community thing where everybody should be helping out?
I do. I feel like the community needs to band together to fix, problems, what's going on. You band together and take the issues to the higher ups and you demand to see these changes. See, people don't boycott like they used to back in the civil rights area. When they say they're not
Mm-hmm.
going to ride the bus, guess what? They didn't ride the bus. It won't because, oh, I got to do this because I don't want to lose pay. And it ain't my issue. It's not my son being dead. It ain't my this. It's not my that. But it's your people. They stood for something. What do you stand for? What is it that you stand for? How can you improve what's going on in the community? Because in order to improve what's going on in our communities, it starts and everything starts in the household.
Yep.
Everything starts there. So when that foundation is out of whack, that house is out of whack. And you can't tell me any difference. So now what's going on in the household is filtering into the streets. Because in this day and time, you can't say anything to nobody's child. You can't say anything to nobody that's an adult without somebody getting mad, without somebody pulling out a gun, without somebody doing this and that. So, how do
Mm-hmm.
you fix the problem? Where do you start to fix the problem? And
I
how
mean,
can you fix the problem?
for one, I just think that it depends on, like you said, like leadership, and it takes leadership to put your ego to the side and come up with a solution. So I'm doing little background check, right? So this is the crime rate in Ward 8. 2013, it was 39 murders. 2014, 35. 2015, 56. 2016, 48, 2017, 46, 2018, 69, 2019, 64, 2020, 62, 2021, 83, 2022, 78, 2023 is 98. And to me, that shows me if you've been in that ward for so long, you have to have some type of impact. There's no way you can't say that you've been in this ward for so long. And I know a lot of people will get mad or pissed off, but it's better to begin pissed on. So, but my thing is, if you've been in that ward for so long, and yes, I'll be the one to say yes, he be out there, he does this, but it still doesn't justify the crime rate in your ward. And to me, and a lot of people gonna say, Ronnie, you hating, you're a crab in the barrel. No, this is reality because if you compare, what ward you in, Tasha?
Seven.
So by you being in Ward 7 and compared to Ward 8, because they're real close to each other, do you have much crime in Ward 7 than 8 or any other wards?
Well, crime does happen over here, but I think it's an issue of um, white people and others are colonizing this area.
Mm-hmm.
People always say gentrification, but it's a difference in gentrification and colonization. So it's a lot of white people that's colonizing this area. So, you know, you see the cops sitting out here, and this
Mm-hmm.
is in Southeast. You see the cops sitting out here, they ride down the street. Um, I think a lot of I think a lot of issue is too is the community is the relationship with the police officers and our communities. And I'm not saying that crime doesn't happen here over, where I'm at, but uh not as what I've seen that's going on like in Ward 8.
Mm-hmm.
So, the point of the matter of the point of the fact is that you have to come up with some solution. Employment. I think that there needs to be uh, more employment opportunities for our people, and you know, our people. My dad always said, our people don't want to work. These young folks don't want to work in a pie factory," and that's not an opinion. That is a fact. But the thing is, too, we need more employment for our people because they're bringing in foreigners that's pretty much taking your jobs, taking your money, taking your SNAP, taking your housing, going to school for free. So all of this
Mm-hmm.
plays a part as to what's going on with everything. When there's no employment or no opportunity for people to get employment, then that leads to crime. That leads to robbing. That leads to killing. But again, if you were never taught the morals, the values, the principle, and um, how to have leadership abilities, how to interview, these how-to classes, because there's so many programs in the District of Columbia that our people can benefit from, but they choose not to. So again, it's a whole lot of issues that can stem to what's going on in these wards.
Mm-hmm.
Education is lacking. Employment is lacking. I mean, it's just numbers of housing is lacking. When people try to get, housing, they always want to put us in an area where we know the crime rate is high.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of these things, stem, and the environmental changes that's going on. A lot of stuff is stemming from the things that's going on. But again, we have to hold politicians, just like we have to hold our neighbors that's in our communities responsible. Accountability. People don't want to own up to their faults. So it's so many things that's going on that needs work. But it just, the question is like, why is there so many crimes that are happening? Like, and people in politics, just like people in our neighborhoods, just turn the blind eye, because what is it that another black man is dead, or another black child is dead, or another black woman is killed? That don't mean nothing to people. Our lives to other ethnicities don't mean nothing, diddly squat. So why should they care about the killings that's going on in these wars? If we don't care, why should they care? I want my people to have that same energy when these cops are killing us left and right. Have the same energy when your brother is out here killing your other brother for no apparent reason. Keep that same energy. I want you to fight when you see one of your brothers getting killed. I want you to fight when you see one of your sisters getting killed. I want you to fight when you see these people killing these babies that has not even started to grow, have not even lived. Have that same energy. I don't need for you to have energy on when the white cops is killing these black people. Keep that same energy when these black people are killing each other, when we're killing each other. Keep that same energy. And I don't want to be, hear people say, well, it's not this and it's not that. No, I want you to keep that same energy,
Mm-hmm.
because right is right and wrong is wrong. Killing is killing. Whether they killing us or you killing each other, but why would you be mad when one person kill you, but you okay when you killing you? I don't get it. Make that make sense.
But one thing I've noticed, Tasha, though, with this society is that if you just dangling something in front of majority of black folks, if you and I said this at the beginning of the podcast, black folks are um lacking a lot of things. And As long as they are being entertained, they'll forget about their problem just for that moment. If you got good music, good wine, good weed, good anything, because the conversation is not there. And what I see more in society is ain't got nothing to do with me. Like prime example, when you're driving, uh, people drive up on your bumper, they bully you on the roads, and you like, I'm not going no faster. And then they get way up on your bumper, and then they come beside you and taunt you. All it is, what I see in society is that black folks want to be bullies, want to be accepted, and if they don't get the attention that they yearn for, like society tell you it's okay for our women to come out naked. Everybody wearing onesie now, and I don't think I know where onesie is babies. And look at our black culture. I can only speak on the black culture. We got these long eyelashes, long fake hair, different color hair, onesie on, wearing UGG slippers, wearing Crocs everywhere you go, and it's no more respect for the elders anymore. It's just like in the black community. It's always, if it's not about me, like these young women that want to go on dates, they'll try to pick the most expensive place for you to take them out on a date. And when you don't say, man, let's just go to a picnic or let's just go somewhere just to chill out. Oh, you must be broke. No, it just what society trying to tell you is you know you trash, you know you ain't got nothing going on, but I want you to play this image like the rest of these strippers are so-called rappers. And sometimes we gotta understand we are the suckers. We walk around play the image that they already attached to us years ago, over 200 years ago. And we are just living proof of what they've been saying. This is why other cultures are so afraid of us. And this is why, and I say it like this on another podcast, you got black women running to white men just because they got good credit, good house, good place to where they can a nice car they can drive, and you got the men doing the same thing. So it's all about uh give me what you got. I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to work for nothing. I want what you got. So that way we get married or have a baby. I can take everything that you have. That way it belongs to me. And society, black women today has fallen to majority of them. I would say, especially the one that's 18 and 35. They are pretty much dragging in the mud. They think just because what they got between their legs, they think that's going to get them far. And you got these dumb men out here think with their anatomy too. What do you think about that, Tasha?
Well, that topic is hmm, that topic. Okay, so some of what you said I do agree with. Not all of my sisters, you know, dress half naked or, leech off the man instead of, uh providing for herself. um, but you do have that select few that chooses not to work or choose to use a man at every cost that they can, get. Um, you do have some women in certain age brackets that do dress promiscuous, but at the same token, it does not give a man the right to touch or mistreat that woman. But you are what you attract. So if all you've been doing the majority of your life is attracting men of a certain caliber or women as a certain caliber, then you as an individual have to step back and analyze yourself
Hmm.
and find out. what is going wrong, or if anything is wrong with me, how come I attract these certain type of men or these certain type of women? Have you lowered your standards, or have you just said, I really don't care, you know, as long as she like me or as long as he likes me? So I feel like, you attract what you are.
Hmm.
In many instances, a lot of men, I'm not gonna say a lot, but you have some men and some women that would always say, I want a man to have this, 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 and that. Or he may say, I want her to have this, 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 and that. As I was just saying yesterday to my daughter, that how can you request for a man to have these attributes when you don't have them yourself? It don't make sense.
Yeah, that's true.
So again, if the attributes that you are requesting and you don't have them, then you're going to attract whatever you attract, because you didn't put any you didn't put no standards on, you know what you are trying to seek.
Hmm.
So if you haven't put any standards on that, then I mean, you attract, again, if that's all you have attracted your entire life, then there's something wrong with you. That's how I feel. Um, and a lot of times people don't want to step back or say that, hey, is there something wrong with me? The reason why I'm attracting a person that like to party all the time, a person that like to go to the club all the time. And in my opinion, what that is, if I met you in the club, I mean, come on, what
Nine
next
times.
up?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
that's true.
and not saying that a person can't change, but just hypothetically speaking, you was talking about strippers. You've seen some strippers that, pretty much did the job because they had to make ends meet. I get it. But even if that person decides, oh, I'm not going to strip anymore, when you see that person 10 years down the road, what's the first thing that's going to pop into your mind?
She was a stripper.
She
That's
was a
the
stripper.
yeah. Yeah, she was a stripper.
She was a stripper. And although that may be her past, but that is what she's known for.
Hmm.
So you, as a, if I were a man, I'd be like, oh yeah, Shorty was when she was a stripper. And I'm wondering if she still got that, not knowing that the girl probably have changed. But then if that money is right, who's to say that she has changed?
That's true.
So
That's definitely
it just
true.
depends on, you know, the individuals and what they're trying to seek. As far as interracial, I've never been big on dating outside of my ethnicity unless his melanin is popping like mine. Um, I feel like when some men go to um the pale people, I feel like they think I was going to say Neanderthals, but anyway, I think that they feel like they got a trophy.
Hmm.
Um, and I always use people who are in sports. They are quick to say, "Oh, I can't marry a sister because she's a gold digger and she's this and she's that." But what do those white women and those other women do? They take, excuse me, their ass to the bank. They wipe them out because you didn't want us to have it. So you felt the need to go to a white woman and she taking your ass to the bank.
Hmm.
Look at Kobe Bryant. God rest his soul. But if he didn't, sugar up his wife, she was about to take that dude for everything he owed.
Yeah, I mean that was
Look
in the
at
news.
look
That
exactly.
was yeah,
And
that was
look
in
at
the news.
Tiger Woods' ex-wife. Oh, she's the
He
bad bee. Huh.
yeah, he pays
Yo,
her $5 million a year.
anytime that you can tear down the house that you and him built and build another one right in the same spot, she's a bad one. But
Yeah,
you still
yeah.
haven't her. But see, all of the money that you make, you didn't want us to have it because you felt like, oh, when I want this, you want that, and when I was trying to do this, you didn't believe in me. But yet you go and do this, and then you have the men talking down about black women.
Hmm.
You have a black mother, a black grandmother, a black sister, a black auntie. You have black female cousins, but yet you talk about black women like we are trash. And not all black men, but you have the black men that talk about us like we ain't shit.
Well, why do you think that though? Because I see um, a lot of celebrities come down and downplay. Because I even noticed in these entertainers, they go straight to the white woman. They do not have time for black women because, a lot of them say that black women, they argue too much, they too needy. White people just play the game. See, white people study black people. So this is why they can tell you about your history more than you know your own history because they study you. And and the more they study you, the more they're gonna break you down about you, and now you're gonna be in your feelings because now he's gonna bring the forefront that you got daddy issues, or you got mama issues, or you got insecure issues with self, and now you're gonna feel like a little roach that's crawling on the floor by the time he finishes with you in court.
Well, I beg to differ because my people are powerful people. It's just that some of them don't realize how powerful that we are. A white person cannot tell me about my history at all.
And the reason I say that though, Tosh, is because um, you got black folks out here that will listen to a white person quicker than they listen. Now, here that you
Indeed,
got
they
your
will.
degree, you got your degrees, right?
Hmm.
And you tell somebody, "Hey, I'm a herbalist. I can tell you stuff how to heal your
Hmm.
sinuses, how to heal cancer, how to do all that."
Hmm.
But here's a white man or a white woman come along and we word what you just said, and he
Hmm.
have that black person
Hmm.
listen to everything they saying, and
Hmm.
you just told them the same thing, but they just
Exactly.
reworded exactly what you said. And this is why
Exactly.
I say the mind is really is a dangerous thing.
Yeah.
It can be powerful and it can be weak
Hmm.
because all what you put in your mindset, because what you put in your brain is going to show through your actions. And sometimes people don't realize that because the knowledge is power.
Hmm.
And I think some of us are so scared of change to a fact that become so comfortable in our mess, we don't even realize we're in mess. We just comfortable. And then when a person like you or I come along and tell them about themselves, you ain't judge, you ain't God, you ain't got the right to be judging me. I'm not judging you. All I'm doing is telling you what I see in you. And sometimes that be the first people defense is that, hey, don't judge me. And now they got a thing is no judgment zone. So that means you can condone the dumb stuff I'm doing, but
Hmm.
yet it's no judgment here. But
Hmm.
see, what I've noticed in the black culture is we run away from the truth. We keep running until the problem just wears down. Because
Hmm.
the problem going to be right there when you get running. Like my grandma used
Well,
to say, when you tired of running, that problem's still going to be right there.
mhm. Well, one thing my parents always said is that a lie won't hurt you, but the truth will. So a lot of times, you have people, like you were saying, me doing what I do. Um, when you have been indoctrinated for so long, you would think whatever, just to say the medical field or doctors tell you to be true, not knowing that whatever I tell you, I'm telling you from, knowledge and telling you from experience and telling you because I know the benefits of, you know, healing your body naturally. So
Mm,
if I told you this, if I said this shit stinks, you're not gonna believe me. But when he tell you that this shit stink, you're like, oh my God, it does stink. But I just told you the same thing, just like you were saying. Um, it's just that our people have been so indoctrinated thinking that things what was told to them are true. Um, and that just goes back to, people lives. Um, you carry things, you have a lot of men and women who carry things from childhood, because what is the saying for our people? What goes on in this house stays in this house. So you carry
Mm-hmm.
trauma. So now you carrying trauma from childhood to adulthood as grown men and women, and you're broken. But when you try to tell them that they're broken, like you mentioned, you don't know me. How you gonna say this?
Mm-hmm.
How you gonna say that? Why you judge me? No, it's not about judging. I feel like in our ethnicity, we do not own up to the fact that, hey, maybe I do need to see a therapist. It doesn't mean that you're crazy. It
Mm-hmm.
means you're seeing someone who does not know you, who cannot share your information because it'll be a brief of confidentiality, but who can give you a modest opinion, because I don't know you from Adam's apple. But
Mm-hmm.
yet, this is your podcast. You can go so many topics that we're talking about here. Mental health. Mental health is so big in our community. That's why that's why some of the crime is how it is. It goes back to that. So mental health is big. Um, our health in general. Oh God, our health in general plays a factor in the way you think, the way you move, and a lot of times we just, I don't know, we just don't want to hear what anybody else has to say, because, you know, their biggest thing, like when it comes to the foods or when it comes to medications, well, I gotta die from something. That's true. We all have an expiration date. But the thing is, why go quicker with,
Yeah.
you know, the foods
Yeah.
that you eat, being
That
what's
kind of
told you?
thinking
Because,
burns me up, man.
yeah. So I mean, it just stems so deeper than the surface of what you see. And I just feel like we have to do better. We have to do better. Um, we just have to band together and stick together when we see something is wrong, or when we are trying to help each other. It's not that we're trying to break you down. You have a lot of us that's trying to build you up, but you have to know the difference in building you up and tearing you down, because you've been torn down for so long. So
Mm-hmm.
when someone is trying to help you, you cannot differentiate, is this person trying to really help me, or this person trying to make fun of me, or is this person really trying to break me down? Because you've been broken. You come from a childhood with trauma, and now as an adult you don't know how to deal with that trauma. So what do? You go out here, sometimes you snap. Sometimes the first thing they want to do is put you on medications that don't work. So if a lot of people have to differentiate that, and you don't have to be put on medications. That's why you have herbs. If you treat the body kind, your body will heal itself.
And so while we on that topic though, because you hit on mental health, I know when I was coming up, I had a cousin that was kind of like on the challenge side. Um, and I didn't understand it at first because just looking at him, I'm thinking he's normal, but the whole time he's not on the wave that I'm on. But it shows that some black folks have disability kids, and some parents are ashamed of their kids, the way they come out, and they would hide their kids. They would send their kids off to a solemn school, or as long as that kid is not nowhere near them to make them embarrassed. But with mental health in the black culture, it's really strong, and some parents so embarrassed that they don't want to help their kids. Like, prime example, as the kid is growing up, the parents see something wrong with their child. Some parents will go out and just get a check for that child till that child turn of age, to where that kid can kind of take care of itself, or be in school to there show him or her how to live in society. But in the black community, we so prideful. We want to always say ain't nothing wrong with me. We always want to say I'm good. But yet a person could be broken inside, but yet still keep a smile on their face. And sometimes, you know, people don't know how to deal with certain situations. So what they'll do is they will act out. They will go out in anger because if you even talk to somebody, their first reaction is, "What? What?" And sometimes people allow their emotions to take the best of them, and then they get remorseful after they did the action. So, and I say that with these young kids too. But what you think about that? We definitely get back on Trey before we end out though.
Well, being that I am a former special ed teacher, I taught special ed for 17 years. I do see the difference in, um, and not all of us, but I do see the difference in the way, what am I trying to say? We don't seek the help that we need to seek when it comes to our children because again, we turn the blind eye. Who wants their child to have a disability? You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Who
Mm-hmm.
wants their child to not know things? But at the same token, I feel like God makes no mistakes. I really feel like sometimes God will do do things to make you a better person and to humble you. See, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people are not humble. And being humble is something that it takes time, especially when you're not that type of person. You've never seen humbleness, just like a lot of us has never seen love. So
Mm-hmm.
it just stems so deep with our ethnicity. Um, when a child has special needs, a lot of times they can't take care of the child, so they will send that child off to a facility that can better cater to the needs of that child instead of learning how to cater to the needs of your own child. But a lot of times they send them off. Like my nephew, one of my nephews have a rare disease. It's called Moya Moya. Now, Moya Moya, there's a few other people that has that disease, and the disease is deadly. So what it is, it's when the blood vessels on the brain starts to narrow, almost like you're having an aneurysm, like. But
Mm-hmm.
the blood vessels narrow on the brain. So when my nephew was 8 months, he had to have brain surgery. And with the disease, it causes paralysis, it causes strokes. So he was having strokes at the time. I mean, and seizures. He was having strokes at the time, and we didn't know it as a baby. But he's now, now he's 26. He's nonverbal, but the whole time I was trying to get my sister to give him to me so I can work with him and put him in programs up here where I know being having a special ed background that I know would have benefited him.
Could you give him some type of herb or something?
Well, for him, no, because the disease is like a rare disease. All diseases can be curable if it is a curable disease. Now with his is rare. So his is dealing with, well, at that time, like I said, it's the narrowing of the blood vessels on the brain. So it originated in Japan. He does have Japanese descendants on his father's side. And basically when the sperm hit the embryo, he was a sick baby.
Mm.
So,
Ah,
if she had have given him to me,
at an early age.
right, when I wanted him, but she thought I wanted his social
Yeah.
security. I didn't want his
Ah,
money. She could have kept that. I just
yeah.
wanted him because again, we're not going to be here forever. So we want our children, you know, to be able to sustain how it is out here. Because you can't say in the world keeps spinning. It's the people that's in the world that really don't care about you, your feelings, or what goes on in your life.
Mm-hmm.
So there are times now I've seen other cases with white people who child had this case I saw his child had moya moya. This dude got the best for that child, the best OT, the best physical therapist, the best schools to make sure that his child will be able to function.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times we do ship our children off, because they are not educated enough to take care of the child or to learn how to take care of the child. And then you have some that do, you know but it just it just stems, like I said, a lot of things that goes on in our ethnicity. It stems from slavery on up, and slavery hasn't ended. So um
It'll be going on for until we close our eyes.
pretty much.
But my fear comes in though, um, when we gone, can our kids sustain this craziness? You know what I mean?
I don't.
Because let them tell it, they're gonna take them back in the cotton fields. Let them tell
Well, well, that's what's going to happen, because as what we see is going on with technology advancing, robots taking over jobs and things of that nature, it's going to be quite difficult. It's going to be a different atmosphere when we close our eyes. But
it. Hmm.
um, yeah, it's going to be like that, because even going back to the school system, teachers don't teach anymore. So you have kids that are graduating dumb as a doorknob, that can't
That's
can't
true.
read can't read in cursive, can't write in cursive, don't know what a noun, verb, adjective, predicate, subject, verb, don't know anything because it's not taught in the school. So then this is what you have to look forward to, and to look forward to something like that, they will get robots to take over their jobs. So their lives is going to be kind of difficult.
Yeah. I tell
Sad,
mine that all the
sad, but
time.
sad, but so it's going to be difficult, because you have kids that don't know nothing, absolutely
Yeah.
nothing. You have
Um,
teachers that don't teach. You have teachers that hand out handouts because all you're doing is teaching to the test. You have teachers that don't give out books. You have teachers that just, I don't even call them teachers anymore. My apologies. I call them babysitters, because all
that's
they do
it.
is sit at a computer, print off some handouts, and give it to the class. Okay, you take that, then they go to their next class. So, I mean, they're just babysitters.
I mean, before we get up out of here, I want to definitely get back on this Mr. White stuff. You know, I just think that I hope the brother comes through. Um, I wish him many blessings, especially his family, that he that can beat this. Because if, like I said, if this is a plot against him, I truly believe that that would come out, and if it's a lie, that would come out, and if the truth that he's been taking bribes and stuff like that, that's going to come out too. But my heart goes out to his kids. You know what I mean? Because if he was at home, that means he got arrested in front of his kids. And you
Mm,
know when the feds come for you, they don't care who in the house.
mm-mm.
They don't care. So
Well,
I just feel though. What's your intake on that before we get out? You'll say the last thing before we get up out of here.
well, if it was a bribery, again, my mom always said a lie won't hurt you, but the truth will. So if it is the truth, then he needs to, um, whatever consequences that's going to come, he needs to be a man and deal with the consequences. But again, you have to realize that black people, our people, have never had any money. So
With
if
that
the
money.
bribery comes with money, you know, we haven't had that type of money. And not
Mm-hmm.
saying that none of us, not saying all of us, but we are an ethnicity that comes from great inventors. Let's start right there. So we don't need to be bribed. But, the saying money talk and BS walk,
Mm-hmm.
if, you know, they, it's just a sad situation.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
when it comes to our people, we have to do better. We have to do better on all levels. We have to do better. Even though you have to play the game in politics, you'll never play the game. Put it this way, we need to stop playing checkers and play chess.
Because they've been
And
doing it on us for
pretty much.
years.
So you have to be a chess player and not a checkers player. You can't do what they do because they got money and power.
Mm-hmm.
Their power is generational power. Our power is not, because we don't teach our children about generational. So their power is generational power. So you can't do the same thing like he did. Another person, a white person, do the same thing he did, but he's not gonna get no time. But they're definitely gonna make a mockery. They definitely are gonna use him as an example. Definitely.
And, and you know who else got Kirk? What's his name? Kirkpatrick used to be. I
Yeah,
think he was
Patrick. Mm-hmm.
Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had what's the black prosecutor? You notice, and I don't understand how black people are not catching on to this when they allow you to do this stuff so they can really beat your head in when they do come down on you.
They do. They
And
give you the rope and you hang yourself.
exactly. And my whole thing is, I'm like this. How in the world that you're going to do this stuff just because you think you hang with a bunch of white people and drink with them, play golf with them, do skeet shooting with them, and horseback riding, and do all these things.
And think
But
that they're for you.
exactly, these people
That
will
they're not.
cross you
They're not.
quicker
Before they
than
cross their own. Yeah.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And you think just because, oh, I got white friends, they don't care. You still a nigga to
Mm-mm.
them.
Pretty
Because
much.
one thing I've noticed with white folks is that they don't let you forget the favors they do for you. They get drunk and their true feelings come out because they've been hiding for so long. They'll call you a nigga. Hey nigga, go get me a drink. You standing around all your so-called friends, and they sitting there laughing at you. Nigga, you heard
Facts.
what he said? Go get him
Yeah.
a drink.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you want to be so pressed to be under. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not racist. I'm just a person that's going to be real with you 100%. I don't care if you're blue, yellow, green, pink. Wrong is wrong, right is right. I'm not going to sit up here and cater to another culture that has no love for me. And I compare the corporate jobs to white people because neither one of them care about you. And both of them will do the same thing, damage you. You can get fired, and they're gonna destroy your character. That's what white folks go for. They break you down, destroying your character first. Once they destroy your character and have the people back up off of you, and then that's when they go for the juggler. Because I'm gonna tell you something. The guy that's gonna get his seat, they're not gonna put another black person in there. They don't care what the community say. They're gonna put a white man in there just as crooked as Trump. Watch what I tell you.
They probably will. And it's just a sad thing, They again, I just feel like they are going to use him as an example to keep black folk in line.
Hmm.
And the saddest thing too, is not it's not always it's not all them, but it's us too.
Yeah.
So,
Hmm.
it's sad, but we have to watch our own people because our own people feel like if they do what they need to do that was told from the white person to do to us, then the man gonna have leniency on them, and oh, you can come to the golf
Hmm.
club with me too. But at the end of the day, you still of less value, and they're gonna use you up. And once they use you up, they're gonna go to the next stupid black person who thinks the same way as the previous black person. Oh, he for me, and he no, they're actually not. So it's just bad. Like I said, when you into politics, you got to play the politics, but you also again don't play checkers, play chess. Because every time you play checkers, you're gonna always get jumped. So
I'm telling you, it's just a fact. On that note, I thank you, Sasha, for coming on the podcast. I love having
thanks
you
for having me.
on the podcast because you're always throwing knowledge out here. Tell the people how they can reach out to you for your herbs.
Um, so email at bodi healing bodyhealing at gmail.com. Website will be coming soon, and also an ebook will be coming really, really soon. Classes will be taught on how to make herbs, teas, and tinctures and things of that nature really, really soon within a few weeks. As well as my vegan cosmetic line, which is called Loving Your Lips Cosmetics. That is LUVING, Your Lips. So LUVINGUR lips.com and at gmail.com.
So before we do get out of here, give just an example of the stuff that you got stuff for, let's say high blood pressure, hypertension. Just give them like 5 minutes of that, so they'll know when they call you or reach out to you, they already have an idea how to reach out to you with the questions.
Okay. Well, just say you have high blood pressure. So
Mm.
there are a few herbs that you can take. You can drink it as a tea. Um, some herbs you can drink 3 times a day. Some you can drink 2 times a day, depending on uh, if you're on certain medications. A lot of herbs will be like 2 button rams because the conventional medicines that they give you, this herb can create those type of healing components that you need. So, if you don't have any of the herbs like basil, parsley, or thyme, or cardamom, or soursop, or burdock root, sarsaparilla root, these, schisandra berry, then it's always good to have ginger and turmeric in your house. If you
Don't
can't
forget beet
get,
juice.
hmm?
Don't
Oh
forget beet
yeah,
juice.
yeah. Beets is good for iron as well. But if you don't have any of those, like safflower petals, that's good for high blood pressure. It's good for diabetes. It's good for lowering your cholesterol. Um, cinnamon, cinnamon is good for high blood pressure. Cayenne pepper, green tea is does wonders. Not only does green tea help with high blood pressure, but green tea is also an herb that helps cure cancer. So
Mm.
there's a lot of herbs out here that's good for the body, but if your body is not on a 7.0 or better, which is an alkaline body, if it's under a 7.0, then it's an acidic body, and disease will always live in an acidic body. So you have to get your body in an alkaline state because disease cannot live in a body that's in an alkaline state.
Mm. Thank you so much, Tasha, for coming
You're
on True
welcome.
Power Show. I really appreciate you. Thank you guys for tuning
Thank
in.
you. I appreciate you.
I'm definitely gonna go back and look at the comments because I know they're crazy. So
I look, well, I don't know.
I know it's gonna be crazy. So I just want to thank you guys for tuning in. I'm gonna say peace be. You guys have a wonderful night.